Welcome back to the channel, guys. Tool reviews of tools I use. Today I want to take you through a new tote bag that I've made. This is just designed to take things from my shed to my driveway. I haven't got the sort of setup where I can use like a service trolley like mechanics have got. I can't wheel a great big toolbox out that's got all my oils loaded in the bottom of it or anything like that. I was finding that whenever I work on my cars, that I've just got so much stuff that I've got to drag in and out, and it takes a whole lot of time. So I wanted to save a whole load of time by loading it up into something like this, and it's working an absolute treat. So I'll go through some of the things that I've got in it. So it's very multi-purpose in the fact that I can drop stuff in it. Even if it's not in there, I can just throw other things in it and just use it almost like just a carrying bucket. But it's almost a toolkit in its own right. So these were the things that I was reaching for a lot of the time, and I'm not going to keep in my main toolbox. So if you have a look at my mechanics toolbox, you'll see the tools that I use for working on my vehicles. I'm not a full-time mechanic or anything like that. I'm just a home mechanic that just enjoys working on my cars, saving a bit of money and so on. So yeah, club hammer. I found myself constantly reaching for this all the time, going in and getting it. So I thought, put this in the box and save having to carry it in my main toolbox. Nice weighty thing, knocking off brake discs and things. I know you're not supposed to, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. This one was actually a refurbished one, so I got this in a garage sale. The guy passed away sadly, but this hammer was an absolute wreck when I picked it up. But there was just something I liked about the handle. It was nice and slim and everything. Sanded it down, giving it a little coat of Danish oil. WD-40'd it. Took off some of the excess little flaky paint that it had. Fixed the top of it, and it's absolutely solid as a rock, and it's great in here. So I've got my nylon hammer. This is good for if you want to beat something up, but you also want to protect it at the same time. Nylon hammers are really, really handy. Sometimes use the handle of it as well. Just lives in there. I use the two very interchangeably. I've had this oil filter wrench or pliers for a long time, but not really had much use out of them because all the vehicles I had just didn't have enough space to get this in. Whereas the two vehicles I've got at the moment, I've got plenty of room, and I absolutely love using this. So much easier than some of the other options sometimes. So this is well worthy in here. And I think in here I've got, this is what I've used many times before, which you just turn. It runs off a half. It runs off a half-inch socket bar, and you just stick it in there and it just rotates. It tightens around the oil filter, and you can just see it's got the little flat bits there, just as the oil filter's got the little flat bits on the bottom of it. Tightens it, grips it, rotates and pulls it around. So I'll leave that in there for now. I don't know how long that'll be there for if I stop using it, because yeah, that's taken its place. I've got spanners or wrenches. These are my ratcheting ones. If you look at my mechanics video, my 3-drawer mechanic box video, you will see that these are in there, and they were just giving me so much weight, making the box far too heavy. I ended up buying a set of spline bits, and that was just the straw that broke the camel's back, so it made the other toolbox far too heavy. So I've taken those out and I've put them in here now. And so I still get to use them because I enjoy using them. It makes life easy sometimes, but I don't like the weight in my box. I keep all my fluids and things in here. I've still got some stuff I'll have to go and reach for, obviously. But yeah, anything like this. I've got brake cleaner, so I can clean discs, clean calipers up and things like that. I've got my molly grease. I tend to just use this on like brake caliper slide pins. And I've got copperies there, and I've got my lithium grease just there. And you start to see it all starts building up. I tend to use all of these on brake jobs, and it all starts building up and getting a lot of things that I'm having to carry in the house. And it's great just to tote them in this and know exactly where they are. It just works. Silicone spray, very useful. This was an eBay purchase. It's really quite hard to get hold of in the UK. But it's got the little straw just like the old WD-40. I think they do the bendy straw, the flip up ones like the WD-40 cans now, but this is old school, and it can just sit in there when I'm storing it out of use. But this is great stuff. Another brand is OB40, I believe it is. I've got a can somewhere, but just not within reach. But if you're looking for a British brand, then look for OB40. is great for the price. WD-40, everyone needs WD-40, don't they? So I favour these cans now, especially for mechanic stuff. For general cleaning, I'm still running down old cans of the old style sprays, but for mechanicking, sticking that straw into where you need to get it to, and it keeps everything else clean, is just ideal. So I like that style now. And I've got penetrating fluid. Tend to go through quite a lot of this because it's just, you're constantly working with rusty bolts, nuts and screws and things, so just having to loosen them off a little bit of penetrating fluid, great stuff. Go through tons of kitchen roll whenever I'm doing my servicing jobs. Absolutely tons of the stuff. It's just constantly robbing it from my wife's kitchen. And what else have we got? I've got a brush here. This is a dry brush, so I'll use this for just getting rid of dust before doing general cleaning and things like that. Especially brakes, they get absolutely filthy. And as you can see here, I've got my brake caliper rewind kit. It's a big old kit, but it's such good value for money. Kind of typical cheap Chinese made stuff, but it hasn't let me down yet, and I've used it on a lot of jobs now. You've got the left and right rewind handles, and you've got all the various different adapters and things. I've probably only used about 6 of them or so so far, but it's great to know that I can probably cover most cars with that. It's really good to have. I managed to bend the handle on one of them, so it's I don't know if a Snap-on brand would do much better at it, or if it's the same stuff pretty much, but either way, that has served me well, and it cost me about 15 to £20 or something on eBay. You can't beat that. Yeah, like I said, general purpose box. I can stick in anything. Gloves, you'll go through tons of gloves when you're working on cars. Just trying to keep hands clean, and I still get a little dirt under my nails and things. But these things here, wheel chocks. Sometimes I'm going to chock a car, especially when I'm working on brakes and things like that, but it's just good practice to chock a car up. And I can go looking for bricks and things, and I'm often using concrete blocks and bricks and what have you as ramps, but it's just great to have it in a bag ready to go. These things are super strong. They're just from Halfords, not that expensive. A bit of a tight squeeze to get them in here, but they go in perfectly, so leave those in there. I've got 2 of them. I might get a few more actually. In here I've got all stuff for calipers. I've always used bungees for calipers and hanging them, but I'm finding these hooks are a lot better. They're just, you haven't got the slack to deal with, you haven't got to worry about it dangling, bouncing about or anything like that. And so as I go, I can also bend these out a little bit and just make them mould around a caliper. Just another new bungee there. So I've got options, whatever I'm doing. It's nice to have options. Sometimes you don't have the necessary space to hang the hooks. You're looking for a coil or something strong to hang it on, or a bit of trim or something, and yeah, you haven't always got that at your disposal. So I've got gloves, a set of gloves. I don't tend to use these, but if I need a bit of knuckle protection or something like that, then I can always stick them on. I'm usually using latex ones just to keep fluids off more than anything. Nothing much on the other side. I think I've got a scraper in that pocket there, and nothing in the other side there. So it's not super loaded with anything, but it's got a whole lot of equipment that I need for working on a car. It saves me a whole lot of walking back and forth to the shed or garage. And yeah, it's come in really useful so far. So I'll modify it as I go. I'm sure I might do another video sometime as and when I use it more. But so far, it's working great for me. Hope you have a great day, guys, and like and subscribe. I'll see you soon.